Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. Several young police officers contacted this channel and asked for help, advice, and what they to do if they are deployed to Haiti to combat the criminal gangs there that have been operating with impunity as if they have immunity from prosecution, because the Haitian government over the years have been cuddling, supporting, and empowering criminals in their country for a long time because of the entrenched corruption in this country called Haiti. Haiti's problem is not Jamaica's problem, you know. You understand? So we do not want the Jamaican government to send our young police officers and men to go to this country. These people do not want to solve their problem. These people are violent people. And we in Jamaica, we have our problem. We have our crime problem, in which the security force have been manning community as if they are occupying force. So I want you to watch this video of this criminal, you know, in Haiti, you know. And you have to understand, you know, that's, you know, the same cherry tricks that our Dan's use is the same thing that he has used in Haiti, you know, and become this famous figure. That's he has been even sanctioned by the international community. But it's all because of corruption and the politicians there that causes all these problems. So I want you to watch, and what you watch, you listen and you decide. Because we do not want our young police officers, our soldiers, to go over there. Haiti's problem is not our problem, it's their problem. Let them fix it. Why they don't ask the Dominican Republic security force to help them? Because they know that Haiti is a criminal's paradise when it comes on to the people, the corruption there. The man who is leading the G9 gang in Haiti, this man, you know, was a police officer, you know. He left the police officer to become a criminal because it's more lucrative to become a criminal there. Because in Haiti, it's criminals rule. So I want you to watch, you listen, and you decide and see what they're going to send our young people into. So we want the Jamaican people to see it, you know, and do everything to stop it, because Jamaica is not an international. Jamaica can't even protect itself. You understand? From clansman or one other. So you watch, you listen, you decide.
To the most influential strongman in Haiti. This is Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier, the leader of the G9, a coalition of some of the country's most powerful gangs. That alliance controls swathes of the capital, Port-au-Prince. As it has fought rival organisations, killings, extortion and rape have shot up. The United Nations say it's the worst violence in the country in decades. But in his first interview with international press in more than a year, Cherizier argues the gangs aren't at the root of Haiti's problems.
Everyone sees only people with guns doing violence, but they don't see the corruption in the country. If you steal state money, if you don't build hospitals and schools and don't care for those in need, all this will continue to spawn violence. Even if you eliminate all armed gangs, if social problems are not solved, there will still be the same amount of violence.
Successive Haitian governments have long neglected the population, but now there's also a power vacuum in the country. Not one official has been democratically elected, and many see the current Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, as illegitimate. Analysts say that's let the gangs off the leash.
Well, before, the gangs acted as a kind of mercenaries with the economical lead and political leaders, but they have over the years diversified their income sources and have acquired some kind of autonomy from their sponsors as they have become increasingly powerful.
Cherizier.
So if you're listening to what the reporter is saying, you know, is that these gangs now, they have become too large, too big for themselves, because not even their sponsors can talk to them anymore. So you know who armed them? It was the elites, you know, who armed them, you know, because of power, political power and criminality. So that is what happening, you know, when you're in bed with criminal and after a while you cannot control them. So that is what happening now. So that's how this policeman who's a gang leader in Haiti, is the larger than life figure. So we'll continue the journey. Jamaica don't have no business with these people. These people are barbarians. If you know history and know what these people have done to one of the greatest army in the world, Napoleon, and that's how Haiti become the first free country in the world. These people have warrior blood in them. These people don't care about life. Anything that they're fighting, they believe in what they're fighting for. We have no business over there. So we'll continue the journey.
He says he's a community leader, protecting people under his control. But gangs in Haiti control food, fuel and other commodities passing through their territory, demanding protection money, hijacking trucks. The United Nations also accuses Sharia.
So you remember earlier, this criminal, this terrorist, from the barbecue, the way in Big. Remember, barbecue said that he saw the people, but they're extorting the trucks that deliver goods and services to the people of Haiti. Who you think paying that extortion fees? The same poor people, but they don't even realize, because when they pay the extortion fee to these criminals in the city, in the capital of Haiti, it's the poor people that's paying them extortion fee. And then they turn around and give them back a part of their money. Some of them, not all of them. So that's how criminals pretend, like they're looking out for people, but they're not looking out for anyone but themselves. That's why government must not pass laws that are favorable to criminals. Like what we have done in Jamaica and create this Indicom law. You understand? But it was done by none other than the criminals, Prime Minister Bruce Golding, who he never see a criminal that he didn't love. And the PMP for years wanted this law. You understand? And you see what happened in Haiti? Remember, downtown Kingston, PJ Patterson has hand over downtown Kingston, to Zeeks and Dudus, the capital, and that is the same thing that the Haitian government did, hand over their capital to criminals. It's not the government in charge of the capital of Haiti, It's barbecue. The big fat guy is still right there, who was a police officer. See him there? Alright, so we'll continue the journey.
Of massacring civilians and blockading the country's largest fuel terminal. Last October, it levelled sanctions against him. He told Al Jazeera he was innocent and unworried.
I don't have a problem with sanctions against me because I carry Haiti in my heart until I die. It doesn't bother me because I don't travel, I don't have any goods, and any interest in foreign countries. I want to stay and live in my country just like the US, Italians, and Canadians are proud to live in their home. I'm proud to live in Haiti.
But in Haiti, the crisis continues. The day Al Jazeera spoke to Cherizier, protests erupted after more than 10 police officers were killed.
Yes, I hope you guys listen to that, that part of the reporting from Haiti, You hear what the reporter says. And the police, in Haiti, have resorted now to demonstrating, because the same Haitian killed 10 police officers, the gangsters killed 10 police officers and string their body all over and parade the Haitian police officers' body, just in their underwear with their rifles and handguns. Murder them. The same criminals. So this is why you want to send our Jamaicans to go down to Haiti for these barbarians to kill them. Let them stay there and kill each other. It's not Jamaican problem. Haiti is not Jamaican problem. What we need to do is seal our borders. We do not want them in our country. Do you see what is happening there? We don't want these people in our country. These people are violent people. It's their government why their system collapse. And if we don't be careful, we're on way to the same thing. That's why we are using the military and the police force to occupy community in Jamaica as if it's a war zone. Because the government have been cuddling criminals in Jamaica since 1989. And we just seen a little relief that is coming. We do not want to go in the direction of Haiti, and we do not want you to send our young people there. Let the international community, United Nations is there. Let them send their troops there. We can't even protect ourselves in Jamaica. Is what kind of madness is this? So we'll continue the journey.
Across a week. An ex-policeman himself, he says they're outmatched and underfunded.
Honestly, the police lack a lot of means to guarantee safety, but the country's problem is more political. It is the politicians who are creating chaos so that they can keep their power to make more money. These are all the reasons why they don't pay the policemen well and give them the means, and they become discouraged.
The United Nations is advocating for a foreign...
Yes, those of us who have worked in the system as police officers know that the system is corrupt. Yes, as a year barbecue man says, that the government of Haiti underpaid the police, and that's helped breed corruption. And it's the same thing in Jamaica. That's why we have so many thieving police officers there. In 1994, Jamaican police, we had received one of the best wage increase ever in the history of Jamaica. So police officers could live a decent life, and live in a decent community. But since then, no sir, police have been scraping, and we have the police force with the most robbers ever. And we're not saying it's because of low pay, because some of them are just thieves. But you have to understand, if you are a police officer, you must be living at a certain standard. You're not supposed to be like beggars. Because in Jamaica, police officers are beggars. I am telling you that. No if, nor buts. So this man, is resonating even with the police officers. So say our police, quitting the police force in Haiti to become criminal because it's lucrative. And they realize that which side is winning. It's not the security force winning in Haiti, It's the criminals. Because these people have nothing to lose. Their lives have no value to them, and they don't care who they kill. Jamaica don't have no business in Haitian problem. That is their business. The corruption has been rampant in this country from before I was born. Everybody, Papa Duville, Papa Dak and Baby Dak, they have been ripping off the people of Haiti for years. And it's just a corrupt system. So we continue the journey.
Forced to intervene and help the National Police bring law and order. So far, there are no takers to lead it. There are also serious doubts about whether there will be elections this year. But if nothing changes, men like Cherizier will continue to be all-powerful. John Holman, Al Jazeera.
Yeah, so we just hope that is a wake-up call to our Jamaican people, you understand, to show that we do not want our young men and women to go to Haiti. Haiti's problem is not Jamaica's problem. We have no beef, we have no problem in Haiti. Let the Haitian them solve their problem. Don't tell me about we are brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters when these people who are in government, they're thieving from the people's coffers. They're the one that caused all of this problem. Why the people rise up and criminals are more revered and lauded and celebrated in the country, because the poor people have been suffering for centuries under the rule of the black man. Haiti is the first independent country in the world, the first republic, because they defeat Napoleon Bonaparte, the biggest and baddest military. It's over 200 years this country is free. It's an independent country, but yet still their people live in abject poverty. Where is the money? As a year the man says it's with the 5%, but guess what? The 5% control him. So that's a reverse psychology, letting the poor people feel like he and his gangs are looking out for them, when all he's doing is looking out for himself and the elites, because the elites are the one that arms these people, politicians. These criminals, these terrorists, kill police officers in Haiti and put their bodies on display with their firearm. They don't even take the police officers' firearm in Haiti because they have so many guns. We have no business going to that place. Let them burn it down to the ground. We have no business in Haiti. It's their problem, not ours. We have our problem already, because the problem that has been created in Jamaica could be avoided. Because up to 1989, we had a robust crime plan that was working, where criminals were in check, and they dismantled it in the name of protecting and giving criminals a voice and give them credence in the Jamaican society. And look where we are now. We have to use security force, the soldier and the police, for people to sleep in their communities because of terrorists. And who empower them? It's not the people empower them. It's the politicians in Jamaica. They enact laws, keep going at the police force until they went after the entire apparatus, security apparatus in Jamaica. And now they're trying to do now look a catch up. And you want to send our people them to Haiti. Don't send our young people them to Haiti, man. Make the Haitian them stay there. It's their business, not ours. You understand? So we see Mark Golding support Prime Minister Andrew Holness to send our young people over there. Jamaica have no business sending our young men and women to their graves, because these people in Haiti eat even humans. Yes, they do eat humans as food too, allegedly based on information on the web. Crime and murder rate have increased alarmingly in the Caribbean region, linked to gangs and organized crime. And you know, the scholars cite the lack of state presence and inadequate state capacity as major factors behind the rise of gangs. However, research findings suggest that the manifestation of powerful gangs stem from political patronage. Yes, you know, government supply these terrorists with money and all kind of thing and guns, because they want to lock off these ends, and you know, they create the same political garrisons as, you know, as in Jamaica. You understand? And it stems from the political patronage and policies implemented in the 2000s, during an extensive field work carried out in 80s gang control areas. This contributes to the emerging debate and the engagement of gangs by presenting new empirical evidence on how political patronage and social welfare programs empowered gangs. And that is what causing 80s problem. And Jamaica have nothing to gain from restoring order in their country, when our country, Jamaica, is at war with itself. Our young police officers are leaving the police force in droves, and some of them are doing the unimaginable by quitting the police force, not turning up to work, and becoming deserters because they are tired of being a policeman or a policewoman in Jamaica, as there are no rewards or thanks for doing this job. And some people say, well, police is not a job or a career, it's a service. No, man, this is third world country. You can't mix third world with first world. The government in Jamaica want to send them to Haiti. I don't know what the leader and the opposition are drinking, but it must be mad puss piss. Young police officers, if you are deployed to Haiti, all you have to do not go to Haiti, because when you join the police force, you did not join to go in another country unless you volunteer. Yes, unless you volunteer yourself. Take the government to court over this matter. So on February 1st, this is what happened in Jamaica. You understand? Jamaica would be willing to take part in an international military deployment to Haiti. Prime Minister Andrew Holness told lawmakers on Tuesday, saying the Caribbean island country could also support its neighbors on electoral reform. Hey, look, man, we don't have no business to do with Haiti. Let Haiti solve them problem. Jamaica have feed problem. Jamaica have a lot of problem. Let Haitian them take care of their problem. All we need to do is lock our borders and prevent them from coming there. We don't want them there. You have over 13 million people living in Haiti, and 3 million people in Jamaica. So why the 13 million people? What? Them can't find 4 million people to defend them own country. Why we for go there? Don't you see what's happening in Afghanistan with the Taliban? The Taliban that harbor Bin Laden and attacked the Twin Towers, and the American troops, in which I was a part of, they send our troops down there to protect these people from the Taliban. And what's happening in the end? The same people join with the Taliban, and we have to leave. America have to leave with the tail between the legs. Embarrassed. You think that these people in Haiti is going to allow any foreigners to come and kill their people, and they're going to side with the foreigners? They're going to side with the locals because they are all Haitians. You have to understand that that is the instinct, natural instinct, that they're going to stick together. We have no business there, man. The United Nations suggested a rapid action force be sent to Haiti, where gang have expanded their territory after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021, left a power vacuum. And you see all that president there, that guy there was a thief too, you know, a billions of dollars in thief from the Asian people's coffers. With the Venezuelan oil that the Venezuelan people were giving them for free, and this man thieved the money, so that's why them end up killing him. We have no beef, we have no problem in Haiti. Haiti is not our problem. Jamaica is our problem. You understand? So that has led to a routine gun battle between police officers and gangs, with last week blocking streets in protest of officers' death. That's the same thing that you hear on Al Jazeera, you know. So the same Asian gunmen, you know, 10 police officers they killed in Haiti, you know, and put their bodies on display, you know. It's a message, you know, to the Asian police, you know. If you don't come inside here, you know, we are killing, you know, because we know all the critics and the corners inside here. And if you don't come in here, we are killing and putting on display. It's a message, you know. It's a psychological message, you know. So all the little young police officers in Haiti, you understand? Well, I wonder if I am going to end up like that. You know, so we don't want police a black street in protest of officers deaths. Bloody turf battles between rival gangs have left hundreds dead and thousands displaced. Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry has pleaded for foreign military support, but talks have stalled, with most countries weary of sending troops. Nobody know why you want to help these people when they don't want to help themselves, because of this corruption. The man says 5% of the population have all of the wealth, and they're not spreading it. Greed and selfishness, let them deal with it. So if he knows that it's 5% of the population have all of the wealth, so why is the poor they are oppressing? It's the poor these gangs are oppressing, you know. And displacing is not the rich, you know, because the rich can defend themselves, because them have guns and them have the gangs in their pocket. Haiti is the first country in the world I see where a wholesale, where you have men with AK-47 on top of the building to protect it from robbers. Haiti is not a normal place. We have no business there, man. Prime Minister Andrew Williams don't send our young boys and young girls to Haiti. Jamaica have a lot of problems. Jamaica have problems. Unlike back in the days when they said Jamaica no problem. That's like 30-something years ago that. Don't send the young people them there, man. The UN envoy to Haiti, Ellen Lime, has called for more urgency, saying the police cannot win without outside help. Well, that is their business, you know. Well, anybody else can help them except Jamaica. I do not want no Jamaican to go to Haiti. Period. You understand? Jamaica would be willing to participate in a multinational security assistance deployment to Haiti under the appropriate jurisdiction parameters to support a return to a reasonable level of stability and peace, Holness told lawmaker. Mr. Holness, Prime Minister Holness, Jamaica have its fair share of problem. The system has been dismantled since 1989, when they get rid of the suppression of crime and start give criminal the reign. We do not want Jamaica to become Haiti. Do not send our boys and girls over there, because if you do that, you're making way for these terrorists to start take over Jamaica. You see that the terrorists in Jamaica, remember, you know, 2010, you know. May 2010, you know. That was a dry run, you know. Anyhow, we do not do something drastic about what is happening in Jamaica, we're going to be like Haiti. Haiti is a failed state, you know, because of corrupt leaders, corrupt politicians. So they give the power to the gangs because they want power, political powers. And now this is it. It is an international problem. But this international providing financial assistance, welfare program to criminals, like the Klansman gang in Spanish Town. And then both Jamaica's police and army have been informed, he said, and he would begin preparation for such eventualities. Man, you need to withdraw that statement. Send with Jamaican police them and soldier to Haiti. We have no business there. We don't speak the same language. Anytime them people must and start them bamboozle. For police not even know when them are telling them to go because what them to do with their mother. Because we don't speak French. Why? So, yeah, look for the Jamaican them free speak French to send to Haiti. You cannot send a man to a man country who do not speak the same language. Him cannot win because when they are communicating, they have no ideas. What? So we are going there now. So it's gonna be like Afghanistan and Iraq, where we have interpreters back down with our troops. Let the Haitians them and the French them take care of them problem. It's not our problem. It's what kind of madness is this? If we send these people go for these barbarians or kill them and string them out alive, we don't want these people. We don't want our young people to go there, because these people are barbarians. Boy, I'm telling you, you know, and you know, the Central American country has been engaged in a bloody crackdown against armed gang on its territory, and have drawn criticism from human rights. Yeah, man, the presidential advisors told Reuters that El Salvador Vice President Felix has offered to send technical team to Haiti to provide advice in fighting gangs. Remember, you know, El Salvador, you know, they was a murder capital of the world, you know, and because of the woke activists them and these mad liberal people telling people how to treat criminals and treat them with kid clubs, that's why 7,000 people that were being killed in El Salvador yearly, you know, until this man, they have the presidents, you know, we have sense, you know, and say, oh, I don't want outside, no Europeans tell me how to run my country, because these people, these people have massacred millions of people over the years, and these people do not like nobody unless you're not even their own race of people. And these woke activists who on pen and paper, I'm telling you and giving you a suggestion how to deal with them. You feel like the people who know how to deal with them own criminal deal with them. You know, and a woke activists. And see what's happening now right now in El Salvador. El Salvador is one of the most peaceful countries in the Americas, because they have been doing them thing and fighting the criminals there. But they have been drawing criticism from the international community because these white people, you know, they don't care about nobody else but them, you know, because them live in a mansion and them live in prison from the populace. But they are telling you how to treat people who want to kill you and rape your pitney and extort you when they do not live there. It's time now to shut down these people, man, and stop give credence and listen to them. They are the ones who have destroyed people country. Because look, whenever the bright minds them leave their country, they go to white countries to build it and make white countries become stronger, and these brown and black people economy get weaker. So El Salvador is finally doing something that others fail to do: stand up for his own country. You understand? The next thing you know they will be coming, human rights. Human rights what? Criminals are supposed to have rights. For you kill people. What kind of madness that? Rights come with responsibility. You know that you're not supposed to touch me. So if you touch me, I'm supposed to defend myself. You're telling the government, well, you know, he touched you, so nothing is wrong with that. All you got to do is just say, what kind of madness is that? These crazy people telling you up is down and down is up, and telling you man a woman and woman a man. people mustn't listen to these people. They are crazy. We cannot let the insane people running the asylum. About human rights. Last week the Caribbean Black, that was February 1st, CARICOM issued a statement condemning the recent gang killing of police officers in Haiti and the police protest. Can you believe outside entity have to be condemning the killing of police officers in Haiti? These are people who speak the same language, and them kill them, Our police officers and soldiers don't speak Creole. Our police officers and soldiers in Jamaica do not eat dirt as any form of delicacy, when them bake it with butter. These are people who have nothing to live for, because their system has been failing them because of corruption. Here where the sausage says, it's 5% of these people, of all of the wealth in Haiti. But yet still, they are not the ones that are affected. It's the 95%. We continue to believe that the will of the Haitian people must drive any solution. Holness said, that's the Prime Minister. The development over the past week demonstrate that progress toward the restoration of democratic institution and rule of law remain highly fragile. He pointed to the increase in reports of children who have yet to restart school year being recruited into gangs. So you see how these wicked criminals are in Haiti, and they said that they're looking out for the people, and they're recruiting the kids, to become criminals in Haiti, depriving them of their future. But that is what happens when time government are in bed with criminals, and you cannot control the beast anymore, and the snake turn. Wallace added that while talks with CARICOM remain ongoing, Kingston would be prepared to host talks between Haiti's political leaders and civil representatives. Jamaica and a business in Haiti, man. Make them go to America, England, or France. France is the one that colonized them, and them fight France and become independent. And they have to pay I have never seen nothing in this world that a man kidnap you and then you have to pay him ransom after you free yourself, that you can operate autonomously. Is what kind of madness is that? That's what you're supposed to talk about. France supposed to give back these people them the money where them pay. You have to pay the capturer, pay them money because them capture you and bring you come at Haiti and you fight and free yourself, and you use terrorism against the people them, and return those, man. France supposed to return back the money to the Haitian people. So Mark Golding, Jamaica opposition leader, said he would endorse Jamaica participation within the parameters outlined by the Prime Minister, noting an alarm prospect for Haiti's neighbors to further deterioration. Oh, Haiti are deteriorate, and Dominican Republic is right there, doing good, peaceful and everything. So they are doing something that is right, that these black people not doing, because them corrupt and all them care about is themselves. Them don't care about the same black people that they are governing. All them just care about themselves. Golding said reparation for Haiti should also be on the agenda for any talks. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, man, France need to give back the Haitian people the money with them pay. And reparations. Following Haiti's independence, France imposed evidence on its former colony for lost property, including enslaved people, which took over a century for Haiti to pay off and stymied its developments. Those who are familiar with Haitian people would have known that these people are some of the most violent people in the Caribbean. These black people do not play. When these Haitian people kill people, sometimes them cook them. Yes, just like back in the 80s and time, the man in a Central, in a Westmoreland, kill the next door neighbor and cook him. You think these Haitian people play? Mr. Prime Minister, please rescind their your order of sending our young people to their deaths. Because these people in Haiti, they have no respect for life, not even the life of their own brothers and sisters. Jamaican people do not. We have no beef. Jamaican people have no beef in Haiti. Let France and Haiti solve them problem. They speak a common language. Our people speak English and Patois. We do not speak Creole or French. Do not send our people there, because right then and there, the advantage that the Haitian have is the language, and they know the territory. And these people are people who are, it's their country, and they're willing to fight to the end. We have no business there, man. Young police officers, if you are given orders to go to Haiti, all you have to do is do not show up. They cannot do anything, become a deserter. Try and migrate to another country. You don't need a police leave-in service ticket to get any job overseas. The most important thing is that you have been trained. And anything else I can advise you off YouTube and tell you what to do, how to get around all these variables. You don't have to resign from the police force. If you're going to Haiti, you're going to your grave. Mr. Holness selling his 2 sons. Yeah, make him send his son, make the Prime Minister send his 2 sons. And Mark Golding send their children. You do not go over there, because they're going to kill you. You think you don't speak French, so you don't even know when they're saying kill him. What, they're going to give you a little basic French class. Young police, don't go. And I know for the soldier have to go, because or else he might end up in a brig. And end up with criminal conviction. The good thing about this police officer is that you are a deserter. Deserter, you cannot go to jail for being a deserter. Only thing they can do is kick you out of a police force. If you have on a 10-year, them say them like, yeah, you're not entitled to any benefits. At least you have your life. You can start over. Don't go to Haiti. Haiti is not our problem. We have no business there. We don't speak French or Creole. We speak English and Patois. Make St. Andrew, make the Prime Minister and Mark Golding and Pete, let's send their children. You don't go over there. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out. These gang in turn on the people. Don't send our people.